Hello, everyone. Marty Janeski here, along with my good buddy Ken Brown. We are your host of Local Sports Wrap-Up. Today is April 1st, 2024. Happy April Fool's Day, the day after Easter, holiday, a couple double holidays. Do anything special yesterday?
Man, we ate a little, little church, little eating, and everything.
Little basketball.
Little basketball.
You know, my pick'em didn't work. I had Tennessee. I had to sneak by that big 7-footer.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Because top four, we're gonna cash in that little pool. You know.
The top four?
Yeah, you $10 out of a hat. You get assigned a team. Tennessee was my only hope. I had like Long Beach State and some other.
Yeah.
But they couldn't. They had a chance. They played well, but man, did they let them play in that game, huh?
Yeah.
The refs let them go.
I thought it was cool. Like I was reading, as the first time that two teams were like led by their star player in that capacity, like 40 points, 17 rebounds, and the other kid had 37. So no, it was a good game. It was here too.
Yes, that was pretty cool too, because we were. We just had a small crowd in my house. You know, my son, my daughter, my brother, his kid. And we just watched some golf. We watched some basketball, then we watched Michigan State and hockey at the end of the day, and Michigan came on top. Julia liked that. My brother went to state. He didn't like that. But, yeah, it was a good evening. Yeah, and Kimmy, she cooks like Martha Stewart.
Yeah. So you got good.
We were all good there. So what else is new? Anything? Might as well start with schedules, huh? What's going on this week, everybody?
Yeah. So
don't
obviously,
forget, it is April 1st.
Yep, it is April 1st.
How'd your daughter do? You were at a game?
No, we went to a game today. They won 10-3. She pitched. She did well. She had a hit. I'm proud of her. Good job, Carrington.
That's right.
Now, the thing about it being April 1st, it's also spring break for some schools, so there's not much action, right?
Oh, right.
Spring break was last week, and then they're just getting out of Easter. And so there's no really local sports that really happened today. Maybe a couple things we'll talk about.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. But Roosevelt varsity, they played today against Westland John Glenn, the girls softball team. We didn't get the results yet, but they played at 4:30, 57 degrees. So I'm sure they got the game in. We got one in. So that was nice. And then they play on they don't play again until the 8th.
Next Monday.
Yeah, they play again on Monday.
At Southgate? Yep. Then they roll. Then they start rolling. We discussed last week. Then they start rolling.
Yeah, and then they were playing 3 games a week, so you better get your pitching ready, right?
Yeah.
So, good luck to the ladies. Hopefully they won today.
On the boys' side, the boys don't kick off till the 4th. They've got till Thursday to get their act together, and they start out in New Boston away, and then they're going to play Saturday here, a doubleheader against Flat Rock, and then they roll the 8th against Southgate also. Do they both play? Yeah, they both play away at Southgate, so they ride over there and they play together. Let's see how the schedule matches up. Yeah, then that's the 11th. Yeah, the boys play Trenton, the girls, the Trenton matches up. So maybe they do that all year long.
It would make sense. Yeah, it would make sense financially as far as getting one bus and sending it over there.
A few buses, yeah. But so good luck to the boys. Hope they have their act together. You got soccer over there. Those are the home soccer games coming up. That's what that is.
So Wyandotte plays this Friday, April 5th, versus Garden City. It's at 6 o'clock. Wonder will that game be under the lights or something? Maybe, I guess. Soccer doesn't take a couple hours?
Nah, a couple, I would think. But even then, if it is, there'd be the lights on the football field. You know, that's where they're at.
No, that'd be nice. All right, and then baseball has a doubleheader versus Flat Rock, April 6th. And then softball plays Trenton April 10th, Wednesday. So,
and the rowing, the Hebka Cup, kids are in training right now, probably busting their butts every morning. And the Hebka Cup is April 27th, followed by the Y-High Regatta, May 4th.
Okay.
There's also other regattas. The Grand Rapids has one. Will be after that, I'm sure. So we'll have 2 weekends of plenty of rowing, tying up Jefferson Avenue. You have to take 4th Street to get around. You got to cut around behind them all. But it's something to see if you've never been down to the water, and if the weather's nice.
It's beautiful.
You know, it'll be fun.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something that you got to experience being a downriver. I think you should go to a rowing event. It's really nice.
We'll try to get a little bit of film on that.
Yeah.
You know, I might just record a little bit of our softball kids too. I'd be on my phone. But one last thing about Slow Pitch 2024, the Wyandotte Rec. And by the way, you can still register for Little League with Wyandotte. Little League. I got a guy here that's proof positive that you can still register for Little League. It's not too late. When are practices starting? Do you know? Did they tell you?
No.
They haven't had their draft yet?
You get a chance to like pick the coach or a player in the league that you know
And play with them?
as a choice. Now we'll see if that's how it shakes, but that's what they offered, and I think that Mike was really gracious because really he was just saying, you know, we want all the kids to play, so that's why he would open it up, you know, even later.
That's cool. Yeah, I had nothing to do with that. It was already taken care of.
No, he's good.
By the time I remembered that, I had to text him. April 8th, you have 1 week to get your registration fee in full. April 8th, right there in big yellow letters, April 8th. So your men's slow pitch and your co-ed slow pitch here in the city of Wyandotte, probably play over there at Pulaski, and I might even play over there at down at Memorial.
They play by our house for sure. I've seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's your last chance. And what day is today? April 1st, huh?
April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
We might have a little bit of news that might just coincide with, and I want to say that don't take us too serious. There's a disclaimer at the beginning of the show that nobody reads, and yeah.
And I'll start.
Okay.
All right.
What'd you hear?
So what I hear is that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift actually broke up.
No.
Yes, sir. They broke up. The good news is there's no bad blood.
No bad blood?
No bad blood between them. They never even behave bad together, right?
No,
so it should be fine.
Yeah, and I also hear that they're never, ever getting back together. Ever. And like ever.
I wonder what that means for the Chiefs, though, right?
Right,
Can
right.
they win without Taylor?
I don't know. I got hockey news. Patrick Kane, freshly signed with the Red Wings, just got traded back to the Chicago Blackhawks.
Get out.
No,
what reason
I'm
would
telling
he
you.
want to leave the Motor City?
Rumor has it he missed the deep dish pizza. And then when we contacted Little Caesars, they had no comment. They had no comment. He's gone. Patrick Kane's gone.
I think that I agree with Patrick. I'd rather have the deep dish than the Little Caesars.
Takes an hour to cook. When you're in Chicago and you go to like Pizzeria Uno, Duo, whatever, they will take your order while you're waiting to get a table. And you stand outside and you're 30 minutes from getting seated and they're taking your order for your pizza because it takes that long to cook.
No, yeah.
And then you finally get your seat, and then here comes everything. They got it ready for you.
Yeah.
Just need a cocktail, and away you go.
Now, for even more local news, which has started today, right?
Yeah.
Kennedy Brown and Julia Janeski have been named softball coaches at Wyandotte High School.
That's amazing. There should be an improvement then.
It's going to be
That's going to be great.
It's going to be a good team.
That's going to be a great team. I'll be darned. That's softball.
That's softball.
Yes.
They had a game today.
Yes, they did. And girls were busy. Dan Campbell, he just got fired from the Lions.
What?
Yeah, terrible, isn't it?
They make the playoffs and then they fire Dan Campbell?
Apparently, management is just not comfortable with winning. They're just not. It's terrible.
That's believable, even though it's April Fool. Hey, look at this, though. This is a great one. We put all these bets together. We put together these superstar bets. Odds Jones.
He
hits the parlay for $700,000.
I understand that was a 10-cent bet. It was. I understand he picked like 16 goal scorers in a hockey game, and he kept betting, and they wouldn't let him place the bet because he was going to win a bunch until he got it down to a dime. And it was $700,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he hit the damn thing.
Yeah, and I saw on social media that he's in the Bahamas. Taking pictures with umbrella drinks.
Oh, they're very nice. Obviously searching for the next parlay.
That's right.
Yes, but if you can do it on a beach with an umbrella drink in your hand, it's all right.
Yeah, I don't think he's having a bad time.
And the bowler that I am, I understand that in bowling, the USBC, the governing body of the sport, okay, they control all the rules. They have decided that you now get 3 turns to make your spare.
Oh, I can finally play.
Yeah, isn't that cool? that is so cool. So nice of them.
No,
Now,
I
if you
love
get
that.
it in 2, it still counts. You just
Okay.
skip the 3rd turn.
All right.
But you get 3 turns now instead of 2. How cool is that?
That is the coolest. This is even great news.
You
Right?
got more?
Yeah. I hear that the wrestlers from the wrestling locker room,
Yes, yes.
they have taken over running a retirement home. You know what the only problem is?
What's the problem?
Everybody's coming up with broken bones.
They're body slamming too many of the elders.
Yeah. And maybe they don't know how to jump off the rope and bounce off the ropes like some of us do.
They're like, here, we got to change this person. Put it over here. And then they bounce them off the wall. And they're like, oh, darn. They were so used to throwing people around. This is fact. Donald Trump's selling Bibles in order to pay for his fines for business fraud. In other news, Pope Francis has been selling country club memberships.
Oh, my God.
And I want to thank Colin Jost for that one. That was Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
I want to give him kudos.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Okay, what about this? The NBA came
The
up with a
NBA.
new rule.
They came up with a
Right
new
before
rule.
the playoffs, they got a new rule.
Great.
You ready? Instead of going to overtime, they're going to nominate a player, and then that player has to play the other team's player in a game of horse.
Sweet.
It's a great idea.
It's a great
Remember when
idea.
Larry Bird I don't know if it was him and Magic Johnson or they're
up in
shooting.
the
Yeah,
bleachers.
they're up in the re. It makes sense.
Yes, and you know what? You got to call bank. If
Gotta
you're
call
gonna bank it, you got to call bank.
That is a great rule.
That's the
Horse.
NBA. They're always ahead of the curve. The NBA is always ahead of the curve. Now, baseball players now, the professional baseball players, I've understood, this just came out today, that they're replacing the names on the back of their jerseys. And I'm sure other sports are going to follow with this. But no longer will you have Brown on the back of your jersey. You can have your Instagram or TikTok handles on the back of your jersey now, so everybody knows how to get a hold of you.
Makes a lot of sense.
Makes a ton of sense.
That is a marketing gem.
Yeah, I agree with you fully.
And speaking of basketball, right? LeBron James, after
James.
20 years, is finally retiring.
He retired today.
He retired today.
On
It's
April
official.
Fool's Day, he
On
retired?
April Fool's. And he's probably going to make a lot more money advertising FanDuel, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. He can make tons of more money than that. Speaking of the NBA, we like the NBA. They've got another new rule put in place. When you foul out towards the end of the game, last 5 minutes of the game, and you foul out, that player cannot be replaced, and your team must play shorthanded, one less player for the remainder of the game. So that's the new rule. Another new rule the NBA put out in the last 5 minutes. If you foul out, now it's 5-on-4. Now if another guy fouls out, it could be 5-on-3.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, that rule is new as of today, but I've actually coached in a game when that happened. Coaching Catholic League girls basketball, we only had 6 players. And once 2 of them fouled out, guess what?
5-on-4.
It's 5-on-4.
You guys probably won anyway.
Yeah, we did win, but it still was tough. And those kids were tired.
You want to talk a little about being fooled today? Can we be fooled today? Some people can never be fooled on April Fool's Day. You know why? Because they've been fooled too many times during their lives.
Man.
So they just can't be fooled on April Fool's. You only get so many fools.
You only get so many.
That's right.
There are two ways to actually be fooled. One is to believe what is true. The other is to refuse to believe what is true.
Gotcha. One's to believe and the other.
That
I
seems
got
like
a U
proverb
of
or
M.
something.
I got a U of M favorite here.
What is it?
Whoever said cheaters never win never watched Michigan football.
I'm from that school that believes if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So that's different.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's like accounting. You got to stretch the gray areas just a little bit.
Just a tad.
Just a little
And I'm
bit.
not talking about overdoing it. You know what I mean? Like Deflategate. I didn't think that was cheating.
Right, and what was the background of that deflate gate? Was that it was so cold and wet that they put less pounds in the ball so it was easier to throw and catch.
Yes.
And you're responsible for your team's footballs, and I'm responsible for my team's footballs. So I do whatever I want with them to an extent, and the refs are supposed to gauge them probably before the game.
Before the game.
But who's to say you don't let a little out after the game?
Or have a different
hearsay. It's all hearsay.
Yeah, but I think that's fair. But how you can get caught up in that is if the other team gets an interception or something like that. Now they've touched the ball and they're like, oh man,
what the heck's
this
going
isn't
on?
the real deal. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
But if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I'm talking about cheating like that.
Right. Okay. Bending the rules to the extent that we bend the rules.
Yeah. Yogi Berra says Little League travel baseball is great. It's a great way to keep the parents off the street.
I like it.
Yeah.
Keep the parents out of trouble.
Yeah, they got to keep them off the streets.
Because they're there coaching their kids.
But it really is also a mix of things because at those travel games, sometimes they can act really bad.
I'm telling
and
you
you've
what.
seen it. Yeah, up close and personal.
Yeah, I've seen it as an umpire. I've seen it as a coach. I've seen it as just a fan sitting in the stands. I'd sit there and down the left field line and just stay out of trouble. When my daughter was playing ball, I didn't want to get my nose in because as parents you want what's best for your kid. But that being said, sometimes, they're trying. And you can't jump on your kid if something goes wrong. The best hitters in the world fail 7 times out of 10.
Yes.
Or 6.5.
No, for sure. No, you're telling the whole truth.
And these parents, I got a lot of buddies who are one bad coach away from playing a professional sport. Okay? If that coach would have just played me, man, I'd have been, I could have been in the NHL. Yeah. No, dude, you were never going to be in the NHL. Okay? Right. That's just the way it is.
And guess what? As a coach, I think I can see the talent. You can tell if somebody has it. And he's going to let you play if you have it.
Kid says, I said a parent says, my daughter really wants to play third base, softball. Okay? 60 feet away. Ball comes at you 100 miles an hour with an aluminum bat. I said, I don't want to kill her. I said, I'd love to let her play third base. I said, but I can't even throw the ball and have her catch it, let alone it come out, 100. My job's to make sure she don't get hurt.
That's right.
Either.
Because you'd be mad at me. You'd be mad at me.
What'd you put her there for?
Yeah.
The Krispy Kreme.
Is that your favorite donut place?
It's a very good, you know what, when my kids were little, every time they had that little sign, the little free donut, come in and get it, we had to pull in.
Yes.
Over there on Southfield. They're having a day today. They're having a 1-day glazed anything offer. And I mean anything. Just bring in your pizza, your cheeseburgers, slice of fruit. Anything you want to go underneath that little icing thing, they will run it today. Today only, though.
Today only.
Krispy Kreme will glaze whatever it is you want glazed.
Today, on April 1st.
That's right.
That's right.
Today only.
All right. The man who says his wife can't take a joke forgets that she married him.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Thank God my wife could take a joke.
Yeah, definitely. Without that, where would we be?
She's married to one.
We'd be single. That's where we'd be.
Grass isn't always greener.
No.
I got one more here. This is a good one. This is the dating app Tinder, which as a married man for 20-some years, I know nothing about.
Same. I have
Swipe right, swipe left. I've just heard about it. People have told me about it. But the dating app Tinder has announced today, that they've hired the vice president of ghost hunting to help combat one of dating culture's most prevalent vices, ghosting. So if you ghost somebody now on the phone or on Tinder, they're sending this ghost hunter after you.
And the ghost hunter's coming.
The ghost hunter's coming.
Now, we've talked about this sport a lot. It's grown. The next sport that we're going to talk about, that I'm going to talk about, we've talked about this sport a lot over the last 3 years.
Tom Snyder. Tom Snyder has even sat here and talked about it, and he said someday this day would come. Well, this day is here.
And it is here. Pickleball is now going to be a high school varsity sport.
Yeah, according to the MHSAA, yes, that they have introduced now that pickleball is going to be played in high schools all across this great country.
Unfortunately, you got to be a senior.
Ah, yes, yes, to be eligible to play.
Eligible to play.
You got to be a high school senior in order to play pickleball. Yeah, that's a great one.
That's good.
So I want to say, happy April Fool's Day, everyone. I hope everyone had a great Easter. And next week we will have real scores with real games.
Now, this isn't April Fool's. Tom Snyder, if you're watching, we still will beat you. Yeah, we still will beat you. This is April Fool's.
Bring it on. Bring it on. Yeah. He told me if a game up to 7, you'd have to spot me 5. I said, I'll take those odds. Or a game to 11, I'd have to get 7 if I played him.
And I'd put it on odds parlay.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I'd do.
That's what we would do. So I'm Marty, that's Ken. We had a lot of fun with this show. We're glad everybody was here. We've got a little battle of our own we're going to do with a little Rock'em Sock'em Robots as the credits roll. And thanks for watching. We will see you next week. Happy April Fool's Day, everyone. And I hope everyone had a great Easter. We'll see you in a week. Hi, Mom. Hope you had fun with this.